And we are live. Hell yeah. Thank you for joining in to the Mickey G podcast.
All right. Coming at you live from Mickey G Studios, starring Mickey G.
Thank you.
And our special guest / co-star filling in for JB the God Killer, Jerry the Jackal.
You like how I just made up the Jackal nickname?
I don't even know what a jackal really is.
And our very special guest, the Judge.
Give it up for the judge that's in studio right now. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Judge Chuy Garcia. Man, that sounds so good to say out loud, right? Have you gotten used to that?
Well, I appreciate that, Mickey. You know what? I don't think you ever get used to it. You know, it's very humbling every time you hear it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, do you know what? I would hear people in the, for full, how do you say it? For full transparency, Chuy and I both do jiu-jitsu. We go to the same gym.
And Jerry?
Oh, and Jerry as well. Everybody in here goes to the
He
same
already
gym.
forgot about you, man.
Yeah. I'm usually forgotten.
And you know what? If Jerry wasn't here, right next to me would be JB the God Killer, and him as well goes to the same gym, Starscream in San Benito. Give it up.
Although I will say me and JB do not have your all's advanced level of jiu-jitsu.
It's very advanced, yes.
Very
yes,
advanced,
yes, extremely advanced. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Mickey's a lot more advanced for sure.
Well, that's what I was wondering about, because I was like, so you're the judge, obviously, right? And now you're brown belt and you're the judge. Have you had to use your jiu-jitsu at any point on anyone that's going crazy in court?
In court?
Yeah.
No, we have bailiffs for that. So
Oh, okay. Are the bailiffs also brown belts?
no, I don't think so.
It's what the? It's not the judge's responsibility to hold people down.
He's judge and executioner. I don't know.
And I'm a judge. Not there's a lot of judges out there. A lot of good judges.
Yeah. So he does it all. He can send you to prison, and he can also physically throw you in prison. So
Yeah.
So give it up for the.
It's like Prof. Johnny says. It depends. It depends on who it is.
Yeah. There you go. All right. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for coming. Do you know when I'm at the gym, I would hear people call you judge, and I would hear it over and over again. And then in the back of my head, I put together that, they're calling him judge because he's a judge, right? And where is it? And so, but even at that, I didn't realize how how much of an incredible responsibility you have as a judge. So like, I don't know, could you just give us a general scope of your responsibilities, the city you represent, how you came to be a judge?
Well, first of all, I'm a justice of the peace, right? There's 10 justices of the peace in Cameron County, and the county is divided into 5 precincts. The precinct I represent is Precinct 3, which encompasses San Benito, Rio Hondo, Arroyo City, El Ranchito, and part of Harlingen.
Oh wow!
Nice.
So it's
That's a
many
lot,
different areas.
Yes, sir.
I had no idea. I thought a judge was just like for one city.
Dude,
Well,
me too. Wow.
Well, like I said, it depends.
Yeah.
So like San Benito has municipal. Each municipality has their own municipal judges.
Okay. What's all right? Never mind. Continue.
So
You're losing them.
I didn't want. I was like, I didn't want to ask a question.
It didn't
where
take too long.
I looked too uneducated.
Yeah, I was hoping you would ask first because I'm done.
All right. What exactly is a
no,
municipality?
but these are good questions because a lot of people don't know, right?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and
We don't know. Yeah.
You know, like a town or a city. Like San Benito has their own municipal judges. Harlingen has their own municipal judges.
oh, okay.
So we represent I represent the county as a
Oh,
whole.
okay.
Oh,
Because
nice.
you represent the county, that is why you look over more than one, or you deal with more than one city.
Correct.
I say look over. I don't think you're actually looking.
Precinct, right?
The precinct, yeah.
There you go. Perfect. And so a justice of a peace is a judge, but a judge isn't a justice of the peace. Is that correct?
Well, there's different kinds of judges, right?
Yeah.
So there's JPs, right? Which I'm one of them. Then there's county court at law judges. Then there's district court judges. Then there's appeals judges, right? And it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court. So it just kind of depends. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of judges out there.
Yeah. And so like how do you become a judge? How does that start?
Well, again, it depends on what kind of judge, right? Some are like federal judges are appointed. The kind of judge that I am is you have to run for it in an election.
Oh wow. You had to actually run for your position.
Correct.
And why'd you run for it? Like what was your reason?
Initially, the judge that was there prior to me was Judge Lupe Ayala, and he passed away in the middle of his term. So I got appointed by the county to finish his term, and then from there I ran my own election and won.
Oh,
Nice,
okay.
crazy,
So you were kind of like interim for a while, and it just kind of organically. Well, I should probably run for this. How'd that come? Like what position were you in to where you got picked up? Because they're not going to ask me to be justice of the
I
peace
would not
interim.
ask you that. No.
Well, I'm going on 18 years as an attorney, right? So the process was
Wait, real quick. What the hell? Chuy's an attorney?
That I did know.
What the hell? Dude, I didn't know.
I didn't know it
any
was
of
that
this.
long, but yeah.
That's crazy. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
well, I guess on the mats we usually don't have get to know you kind of conversations, right? We're just
We really should. We should really have like set aside like 20 minutes to be like, hey, my favorite color is blue. Let's
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just a fun fact about ourselves before we, start rolling.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. What the hell? Okay. So you were an attorney for a long time.
I'm still an attorney.
Oh my gosh. What the hell? And so like, what do you?
And actually, as you don't have to be an attorney to be a JP.
Okay.
To be other kind of judges, you do have to be an attorney.
Okay.
But if you're an attorney that is a JP, you get to still continue practicing, having your practice law.
Oh, that's cool.
So I still do that as well. So I literally have like 2 full-time jobs.
That's insane. And what do you
crazy.
like? What do you do as an attorney? Like, what kind of attorney are you? I guess.
Mostly criminal defense
Okay.
and a lot of mental health work.
Oh, nice. That's great. Do you ever go to trial?
It's been a while, but I've been in a few trials. Yeah.
Wow, that's insane. That's crazy. It's hard to find an attorney that actually has gone to trial.
yeah.
Like those are kind of difficult to find.
So I'm curious, to be interim, did you have to put in a bid to become interim, or did they just come and tell you, hey,
No,
you can do it?
it was an application process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to apply. Go through that whole process.
Wow, that's insane. So what's the difference between, these are all very basic questions because I'm telling you.
No, they're good questions.
Like we are like many people to where when we drive along the street, we see, okay, elect this person, justice of the peace, number this, justice of the peace, number that. And we don't know.
Yeah, no, I have no
we don't
idea.
know what we're supposed
It's
to
very
vote for.
true. No, it's very true.
Yeah. So what is justice of the peace?
So we're a judge. I'm a judge, right? So first and foremost, I'm a judicial officer.
Okay.
So what does that mean?
What's a judicial?
we conduct court.
Mickey's asking all the right
you go to court and you see the judge. So in our court, we see Class E tickets, like speeding tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop sign.
Tell me, are speeding tickets a total scam? Do you think? That's what I think. That's my personal opinion.
No, okay. Do you also see people who have had noise complaints that the cops come out
You
to
can
their
answer
house?
that question, but answer mine first.
Mine directly about you.
I went back and I saw that show.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah,
that episode. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. So, speeding tickets a scam, or
Ooh.
what do you think?
Do you normally speed? Is that why you're asking?
Yeah, I feel like, okay, do you know what?
Admitting
Yes.
to a crime.
Yes, I do. Like many Americans, like the very, very general public, we all speed. It's like this, the way I feel about it, it's like this inside this.
I don't speed.
It's like this inside baseball to where we all know what's going on. We all know we speed, but if there's a cop there, we all stop speeding, right? Like the speed limit, especially in the valley, is like 10 miles over what it actually is. So if it's 35, no, it's understood. Everyone drives 45. I feel that way.
Chuy's not going to take you as a client anymore. Like, you're admitting to a bunch of crimes right now.
Yeah,
Like,
there's too much evidence I'm giving out right now. I'm sorry, but I don't know.
man.
What's your take on the whole speeding ticket thing?
Well, speed limits are there for a reason, for the safety of the community, right? To minimize accidents. So, I think they're probably pretty proper most of the time.
All right, blink twice if you agree with me. No, I'm just kidding.
That was a very judge answer.
Yeah. Like Mickey, what the hell? I'm not gonna say speeding's good.
He's literally telling you, like, get your shit together, Mickey. Like, that's what he wants to say that he can't say.
Yeah, at any time during this live stream, if you want to just correct me and my thinking, feel free. Go ahead.
Okay, now the episode with Mickey and the cop.
Okay.
Would you have dealt with that if it went any further? Like, is that something you would have handled or oversaw?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chewy would have thrown you in jail.
Let me preface this. In that, like, what happened was, look, I was just asking questions. That's
Okay.
it. I wasn't like being, chaotic or anything. This is what happens. So a cop comes to my house for a noise complaint. And so he knows what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do. He's going to tell us to bring it down or stop it. And then we'll bring it down or stop it. And then he'll go along his merry way. He's not going to arrest me for, a noise complaint. And he's not going to give me a ticket for a noise complaint unless I continue. Okay. And usually noise complaints, like the ordinances, they're very clear about that it's not a matter of a noise complaint, but if somebody complains that there's usually a decibel level, and there's usually it's only a violation if they continue after they've been warned. Sometimes it's not all the time. Whatever. Well, for my local city, we have the crappiest written laws ever. To where it's so vague, and it says that, like, okay, these are the requirements we have for different activities that require projected sound, but if somebody complains, then forget everything we just said. It doesn't apply. So pretty much anybody that's making any type of projected noise can be in trouble. Fair or foul?
You said a lot there, Mickey.
This is half me asking you a question, half me venting.
That sounded more like a vent.
It was a vent, yeah. I don't want to hear that before a roll.
But I don't know. Do you feel that way too? Or sometimes the laws are just horribly written, like they're kind of written very sloppy?
That is very true on a lot of legislation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was the most frustrating thing in this scenario. But regardless, like, do you know what? I like I said, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't want to bother my neighbors just as
Except
much
for
as
speeding.
Well,
yeah.
I think you were well within your right to ask the questions that you were asking, right? You're just here at your house, jamming out. Try not to bother anybody, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Nice.
And look, law enforcement, they have tough jobs, and they don't know who they're going to encounter, right? In today's day and age, it's even more perilous out there, right?
Yeah.
Now, having said that, on the flip side of that coin, I think he also could have. Oh,
You're laughing because I'm bringing it up right now. It's okay. Chuy. Don't worry about it.
Well, no, look.
Yeah.
And that's why there's at least two sides to every story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, not only were you well within your right, I think maybe, he could have come in and said, "Hey guys, how are y'all doing? We had a complaint. Can y'all just keep it down a little bit?"
Yeah.
But I think he did come across maybe a little overly authoritative to begin with, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
But like I said,
Yeah.
He didn't know who he was going to encounter.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we got to trust our law enforcement, and they have a tough job out there.
Oh, 100%. Look at look at this guy. Look at this guy over here. Does this look like a dangerous
no.
person to you?
Yes.
Does this look like a dangerous human being to you? This is who. This
That
is
guy
who
looks
he was
like a
interacting with.
drug dealer.
I'm wearing a Simpsons T-shirt.
Yeah, definitely a loser.
I am so glad that I get to ask about those ice packs that you had there, Mickey.
That was what stuck out the most. That was such a last minute and like good idea that we had. That now it's kind of like biting me in the ass that we, whatever.
Oh man,
Yeah, but oh yeah. Okay, so this is
such a weird angle.
yeah. So this is what I was gonna ask. Is this the way that they train our? You know, I know you're not like in charge of the police right now. I'm not no blaming or anything. I'm
This
just
is why he
saying,
called you on, Chuy, just to defend him.
This was all just a huge plan. We were planning to bring you here so that way you could defend me. All right.
Oh man,
Jesse told me the plan. So I already knew.
Yeah.
That's why he's not here.
Yeah. Jesse, aka JB the God
Yeah.
Killer. All right.
oh man.
Let's see.
There's no like decibel requirement or anything like that would constitute it under like amplified music.
It just says, the city ordinance says any amplified music.
Yeah, because like if I was listening to like a stereo and then if people could hear it, then like technically they could call
Well,
you.
check this
and
out.
then
Is this what they train the
like,
police to
it's
do?
so subjective-
Who's the owner?
I'm the
Look.
owner, yeah.
Okay, can I have the first name?
Mickey.
How do you
There you
spell that?
M is in like the mouse. Mike.
It
M-I-K?
makes it easier.
Steve looks so uncomfortable.
The first question I
Yeah,
ask
last
him,
name?
or not the first one, but
Mm.
or like I tell him I'd rather not,
Date of birth?
respectfully.
My date of birth.
Yeah.
I'd rather not give it out, to be honest. I'm sorry, I don't want to give you a hard time.
Okay, I got called out.
Yeah, no,
So-
I understand. I'm not trying to give you a
Okay, failure to identify, then there's
Look,
going to be a problem.
escalation. Escalation.
Like failure to identify is a secondary charge for like, especially if it's like arrest.
I'm here for a city ordinance.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's,
he's gonna arrest me for a
so
city.
I'm required. Okay, so
Yes.
So by law, I'm required to
Yes.
give you my.
He kept cutting me off. I
To
wanted to
identify.
clarify.
No, but that's why. Okay, so by law, I'm required to give you my name and date of birth.
I thought it was only if
Yes.
you were going to arrest them or possible
No.
arrest.
I'm here. I need to do a report.
Yeah,
I need to identify.
yeah,
You said you were the owner, right?
yeah.
What's the problem? Like,
Well, this is my house. I don't have to. Like that's why. Look.
That's what I was saying. I don't have to, but I want to
swear I'm
clarify.
not trying to give you a hard time. I swear I'm not. But so like if I don't give you my name and my date of birth, am I in trouble?
yes?
Well, but like so I don't know if you're gonna write me
Yeah.
a ticket for failure to identify. Am I gonna get arrested? What's gonna go on?
Do you
So
know?
basically, you can get arrested?
I can get arrested.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to get it all on. I just want to get on the record. I want to.
All right, so why don't you do me this favor?
I promise I'll give you.
Do me
my-
this favor. Go ahead and put your guitar and go ahead and go over here and talk to me over here. Okay?
At that point, I thought I was under arrest. I was like,
Telling
damn.
you,
Dude, you want to go to
something.
jail with super short shorts?
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
No, but okay. Look, if you're threatening me, if I don't go.
I'm not threatening you.
No. If I don't, calm down.
I'm not threatening
I'm
you.
not trying to escalate this. Calm down.
It's already escalated, man. It's real simple. It was real simple.
All right. Either way, okay. So that's enough of that. But now looking at it right now, it did take a while for it to escalate. I take it back. I apologize, Preventa Police. I recall it happening a lot quicker than that.
Took forever, man.
Yeah, I thought from the first question he was gonna.
I'm
say
on
that.
his side because you just took too long.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I
vision
feel
is
escalated in here.
vision is 2020
man.
in hindsight, right? Yeah. But either that's why I was gonna ask you, Judge, if that's how they de-escalate things. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like whatever. I don't know. How do you think? Do you think he escalated things?
That was the initial visit, right?
Yeah, that was the initial visit.
I think things could have been handled better, maybe on both sides.
That's why it's been. Oh, what
Yeah.
what
Yeah, I
the
agree
hell
with
is
you.
that supposed to be?
I agree with you.
Didn't you see me with my de-escalation tactics? My hand on my heart.
Calm down. Calm down now, dude. Like,
Does that look like a dangerous guy? A guy like no, like this.
not in those shorts.
All right, but you're gonna ask me about the shorts. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, not the shorts, the ice packs.
I mean the ice packs. I'm sorry, not the shorts. Oh my god. Yes, the ice packs. I wasn't looking forward to practicing that day because it was really hot, and so my wife told me about, hey, people that wear suits, when they have to wear suits outside, they put ice packs. They have little pouches for their ice packs. So it was really sweet. She sewed in ice packs on an old shirt. And so then we put the ice packs in there, and I was good. I felt
Shout
great.
out to Priscilla. That's very nice. Wow.
Exactly. And then for this to happen on a day that I'm recording, like getting recorded, like that's so unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Chuy, what do you think?
I have a question. How loud were you?
It was really loud. You could hear it all over the neighborhood. Like, it was,
Oh man, who do you think called the cops?
No, I know exactly who called the cops, but I don't want to. Like I said, my job is to keep. I want to also keep my neighbors happy as well. I don't want to.
So you're saying if you knew the decibel or whatever limits that you'd be over?
Oh, we'd be way over. 100%,
Oh, then
yeah.
Just like he knew he speeds, he knew he was way over decibels.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so that's why I was okay. Look, even if there was a decibel level, I was way over it, like by a bunch. But like that's what I'm saying. Regardless, I agree. Look, if we're over the level or whatever, now that you told me about it, okay, I agree. I'm fine with it. This argument wasn't even about the freaking decibel level. It was about like he wanted my date of birth. And it's where like, look, if you're coming here to warn me, why do you need my date of birth? You don't need to you don't need to look up my information. I know they do it just to if this guy has any warrants or all this stuff, but like respectfully, look, no, sorry.
Well, he could have said, "Hey guys, like I said, we had some complaints. Can you bring it down a little bit? If I get called out again,
Yeah,
it'd be different story." But
yeah. Has anybody represented themselves in court?
the JP court is mostly a pro se court where people go in and represent themselves.
Oh wow, I had no idea. What are the situation? Why is that so specifically that people represent themselves?
We do have hearings where there's attorneys, right? Well, and it all depends on the kind of hearings that you have. So the JP courts hear Class C tickets, like I said.
Okay.
We also hear civil cases, like small claims cases, up to $20,000. We also hear evictions and administrative hearings, like for driver's licenses. So we do a lot of things there in our court.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, okay. So whenever, like, if artists, how they say that civil lawsuits, are so frivolous nowadays. Do you know what? So if I were to sue Jerry, then we might be in your court.
Right, and you would need an attorney.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll take you for everything you're worth.
That's why you could sue anybody for anything nowadays. So I'm just gonna take everything Jerry has.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, but that's why I've always been nervous about stuff like. Look, and let's go back to the speeding tickets. Look, you don't have to.
What are you going to do if you ever get a speeding ticket going through my precinct and you have to come see me?
Yeah.
That's why. This is where I was going with it, is to where are speeding tickets kind of like if you go to plead your case and say you're not guilty, like what's the percentage that you see that get dismissed?
Well, for everything there's a process, right? So when you talk about dismissed, now there's certain tickets that the judge can dismiss, like expired registration or expired license, right? The remedy is you go renew it, and then there's a small fee, and the ticket gets dismissed.
Well,
but like a speeding ticket or a failure to stop ticket, everything goes through the DA's office. So the only person that can dismiss the ticket is the prosecutor. And then it becomes effective once the judge signs it.
Oh, okay. Like, this is what I've heard. You can agree, you can disagree, whatever. This is, I'm asking the layman's questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could, you don't have to. I'm just going to ask it.
how fast are you driving, Mickey?
This is what I heard. I heard that like from somebody that told me, hey, I do a lot of jury duty. If you get a ticket, just plead no guilty. The cops never show up, so they always get dismissed. Is that fair or not true?
It depends. It depends. I've seen cases where the officer shows up.
How often?
I would say more often than not.
I saw
What?
that same post on Reddit. I know what you're talking about.
No, I'm telling you, it's some guy that I know personally that I've talked to. I don't know. Maybe it's a certain court, whatever. No, I'm trying to see what I could get away with here.
I'd
okay?
rather
I'm
just
trying to-
pay the ticket, honestly. I don't want to go to court.
No, dude, no, it adds up.
I don't want Chewy to see me at my lowest. And Jerry was speeding through a school zone.
Dude,
Go to jail.
people have already seen me at this level, so it's not gonna make a difference for me. Right? It is what it is. Yeah, I'm the king of.
Man.
I'm the king of requesting body cam footage. So if anybody had a negative interaction with the police officer, somebody wearing a body cam, send me a message and I'll request it, and we'll go through it on the Mickey G channel. All right.
Hey, Chewy, have you had to review body cam footage before or look through it?
I have, yeah. Yeah.
Are you able to tell us what's the craziest like court case that you've been a part of?
Well, look, I started my career as an attorney at the DA's office as a prosecutor. I was there for 3 years. That was from 2006 to 2009. So I prosecuted quite a few cases, and you're talking about, anywhere from DWI to aggravated assault to even a couple of murder cases, at the DA's office. And then when I left the DA's office to start my private practice, it's a very different feeling when you go to trial. As a prosecutor, you have resources, you have investigators, you have, your paralegals, and there's cases where there's victims, victims' families where you have to take them into consideration, right? But as a prosecutor, you don't have somebody's life or liberty, in your hands. As a defense attorney, like I said, I had a lot of trials as a prosecutor, but my very first trial as a defense attorney, it was a heavier feeling because you have somebody's liberty. That's your responsibility, right?
Yeah.
So, I've tried a lot of cases as a prosecutor and as a defense attorney, and you never know what a jury's thinking. A jury's always thinking outside of the box, right? Like you said, as attorneys, we see things a certain way, and we have to explain the law to the jury so they can follow the law. Present the state has to prove their case, right? So they have to present the facts to the jury. They have to. It's their burden to prove to the jury that the defendant is guilty, right? Defendant doesn't have to do anything. He has the right to remain silent. Nothing. They can just sit there, and the jury can decide: did the state prove its case or not? Yes or no. So, like I said, attorneys think certain ways, and after the trials, we get to talk to the juries to get their thought process, right? And every single juror is a layperson, just like you. So they have all these different perspectives that we don't even think about as attorneys. So, I've seen surprises from juries a lot. So that's kind of the perspective of that.
Okay. So you said you did some murder cases, right?
No.
What was I don't know, were any of them out of the were any of them crazy? That's what I'm asking.
One of the murder cases I tried as a prosecutor was, I don't really want to get too gory into the facts, but
Yeah.
An older man had stabbed his girlfriend multiple times, and it wasn't good. We started the trial, and then the guy ended up deciding to plead. I think he ended up getting 50 years, something like that. He was already an older gentleman.
So basically life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I heard from a little birdie, and this is, I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm not gonna say any names, anything, but I heard that somebody very successful locally, that they are accused of murdering a spouse and have fled to Mexico. And so now somebody else is handling the business or own, I think the parents are taking ownership of the business now. But yeah, that's what I heard. Somebody locally in Harlingen, somebody very successful. I've heard it from many people in many different ways. So just putting that out there for if anybody wants to add, has heard something similar and wants to,
leave your thoughts in the comments on what Mickey's talking about.
yeah, somebody very successful, or I guess somebody successful in Harlingen who has a successful business, is accused of murdering their spouse and has fled to Mexico. That's just what I heard.
Okay.
just putting that out there.
I have no idea. This is why we should have gotten notes before.
The Mickey G Cheeseman Hour.
Right? We would have known a little.
Yeah, I'm just trying to,
Mickey likes to keep it spontaneous.
He's trying to get stuff for his next episode.
I'm trying to put hooks out there. You know what I mean? Whatever hooks come in. A lot of people are too afraid to put that out there. But if it's true, that's how I feel. If it's true, then put it out there. And that's why that's why I respect our. We were making jokes about doing the Pledge of Allegiance before the live stream, but that's why I respect America so much. Is that there's such a huge focus on transparency. Everything we do, we want you all to see it. We want you all to see that there is no corruption taking place, and we want you to see what's going on behind the scenes. And
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's tough, right? When you go to, when you're defending somebody, it's too early. They're depending on you. They're depending on you to make the case that'll keep them out of jail, and that's why a lot of them would rather take settlements because they're afraid to lose.
Well, look, that's why trials are kind of rare because most of the time your clients are guilty to some degree, right? Mm-hmm. So the job of a defense attorney is, one, make sure that their rights weren't violated, and in the end, just trying to get the best result possible for that person, whether it's probation or some kind of alternative disposition, or if they have to serve some prison time, minimal amount of time. So it just depends on every case, and every single case is different. There's similar cases, similar charges, but every set of circumstances for each case is different. And I think that makes the case, of the decision that's going to be made.
All right. Right now, Chuy, don't speak to me as a judge, but speak to me as an attorney. Okay. I just got pulled over. Slurring my words. I was driving 20 miles over the speed limit, and a cop pulled me over. What do I do? What's the first thing that I should do?
Give him your birthday. Oh, Chuy's answer.
Well, I think you should be courteous and polite. I think a lot of times traffic stops, they start off wrong when the driver is just unpleasant, or hey, the officers are going to respond. They're going to give what they get, right? So I always think that it's best practice to just be cordial and hey, if you're slurring your words and you're driving, you've been drinking and driving. I mean, they pull you over as a defense attorney.
I didn't say I was drinking.
It's just his lisp. That's what the slur is.
I just like to have a good time. That's all.
Well, look, more than likely, if you are slurring your words and they smell some kind of alcohol, or
yeah. By the way, I smell like alcohol as well. I forgot to mention that.
It was the kombucha.
They're going to ask you, to provide a breath specimen, and if you don't, they're just going to get a warrant to get your blood. So
what do I do?
That's another thing that I do as a JP. If you're an attorney, that's a JP. We sign blood warrants for DWIs.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Do those come in at all hours? Because in TV, it makes me think it's 2 a.m. They're gonna go to the judge and be like, "Hey, we need a warrant right now for this guy's blood."
They do call at all hours.
Really?
Yeah.
So pretty much, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So if I'm like,
Well,
there's
I
no
guess
hope for me.
it depends on what the results of your blood tests are.
All right, this is all right. Let me put it this way: all of those scenarios, the cop just pulled me over. I'm slurring my words. I smell like alcohol. I was driving 20 miles over the speed limit, and the cop says, "Have you been drinking?" And I'm like, "Wait, let me call my attorney." All right, what are you going to tell me?
Probably just refuse everything, and they're going to get their warrant. So
Let them work.
Nice.
Let them work.
Yeah, nice. Right?
Yeah.
there
Why
you go.
incriminate yourself?
Hell
right.
yeah.
Right.
you,
Chewy?
you have an absolute right not to incriminate yourself.
nice.
So
I'm
Exactly.
calling you at 2 a.m, Chewy. And then when you get me out of jail, El Rancho.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of calls from me. I get into a lot of trouble.
Mickey's gonna call you when he's playing music too loud.
They're arresting me, Chewy. They're arresting me.
Chewy, I'm going to jail with ice packs
know
under
my-
my armpits. Help.
well,
my
look,
rights.
I can relate, because I do play as well. My brothers and I have a band that we have. We do original music.
You play
You
music
have a
now?
band too?
What the hell, Chewy?
Chewy, what do you not do? I think it's easier for you to tell us stuff that you don't do.
What kind of music you guys play?
Well, let me backtrack a little bit. So I started playing guitar when I was 13, I think.
Oh, wow.
So I've been playing in my church choir since then. Since I'm 13, I'm 48 years old. No.
Dang.
And my two brothers are a little younger than I am. So once they learned how to play, we started playing together, and we realized that we had that kind of brother connection type thing, and we came up with some songs, man. We
What kind of song?
Dude,
What's the
that's
genre?
awesome.
we call it 512 style. So the name of our band is 512 Madrid. It's basically the address where we grew up. It was a temporary name that just stuck.
Nice.
And I would sum up our sound as a combination of the band America, Horse
of
with No
course, yeah.
Name, Ventura Highway.
Ventura
Yeah.
Highway's a great song.
So it would be like a combination of them with Stone Temple Pilots,
Oh, okay.
maybe with like the Monkeys thrown in there.
So it's America with some distortion.
Yeah.
Nice.
a little kind of like laid back kind of sound.
Nice.
Some more rocky songs, but we all have our styles. Me and my two brothers, and then when we come together, and then we add our little mix to it or whatever, then it becomes our sound.
Oh, nice. Hey, Chewy, you don't what the heck? You don't close cabinet doors when you open them? What's going on there?
Whoa. And now the truth comes out.
Close the cabinet doors, Chewy.
Yeah.
Is that a problem? Is that something you're just gonna admit to, or what?
Well,
He's gonna plead the fifth.
I have every right to not incriminate myself. That had to have been my
right.
wife, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That is so hilarious.
Yeah.
The reply was even. Luckily, he has the option to plead the fifth. Wow, that was.
Oh,
that was
I see. I'm learning a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, this is a
Wow.
very educational podcast, you
Yeah.
guys. Like we don't, we don't mess around here. This
Chewy,
is,
I actually have a question for you that I've been wondering. So when you're defending someone, how do you deal with like your feelings, like your thoughts on them, or how do you feel with your morality, like when you're defending them and you're thinking maybe they're guilty, and then you're thinking of the people they hurt, or the things that like.
I can answer this question, Jerry.
It's because
I was
it's
just gonna
kind of
go.
like one of those things where like I think like a lawyer's kind of a hard job, especially defending someone that possibly did something pretty bad. Like, I don't know.
That's a very good question. It is a very good question, and those, we're all human, right? And those thoughts go through your mind, right? And in the end, you just tell yourself you have to stay loyal to the oath that you took as an attorney, right? And the bottom line is that everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and they have their constitutional rights that should not be violated. And it's up to the state, to the DA's office, to prove to a jury that that person is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. and you just go through the process. You go through the process.
Yeah. So how do you say it? Having morals is a good thing, and thinking like, do you know what, this person, in my opinion, I think may be guilty, but that's not what's more important than my thoughts of who's guilty is the process that we swore to follow, because we know that process is fair for everyone. How do you say it? Justice is blind.
That's
All right.
that's right.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
All right.
Did that answer your
Oh
question?
no, yeah, that helped a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. We're learning so much
Yeah,
about.
we're learning a
Yeah,
lot.
no,
right now.
it's not easy. Because I have seen a lot. I haven't seen it all, but I've seen a lot. And what I think, makes me a pretty good and fair judge, is that I've worked at the DA's office as a prosecutor, and I've worked as a defense attorney. So I've had both, perspectives, right? And then as a judge, you have to see things, from a different perspective. So I think all that has given me the ability to look at things and separate things in those kinds of ways.
Do you think that's important for a judge, like to have experience doing different types of law, different types of defense or prosecution, stuff like that?
I definitely think, look, there's a lot of different kind of law out there, and not every attorney we're never going to know all the law all the time, right? There's going to be things that we have to look up or whatever. But I think it's important to have as much vast knowledge of the different kind of laws. Yeah, of course.
All right. From being in a courthouse for like so long, so many years, what are the most common, for people who are being accused, what are the most common, how do I say this, excuses that people give for different, and you know, I'll name a few. What's because of my kids? I've been going through a really hard time lately. I've had a lot of anxiety. What's another one?
I'm sure that's one.
What's another one?
I had to take a shit. That's why I was speeding.
Dude,
Dude,
nobody ever said
No, that actually happened with me and
in a court case or what?
Not in a court case.
Shut up,
but
then,
when
Jerry.
a
What the heck are you
cop
talking
pulled
about?
me and someone over, I can't say his name on the podcast. I think we talked about this last time.
I don't know.
And the cop was like, "Why were you speeding?" And he actually had a date, but I also had to take a shit. So our answer to the sheriff was he was speeding through the school zone to get me home because I had to take a shit.
Oh my gosh! All right,
He
well,
got a very expensive ticket.
all right, well, at those. Those are our top five. All right, what are what do you hear the most?
Honestly, lately, what I've been hearing the most, especially at the JP court, because we see a lot of students like from middle school that have gotten arrested with vape pens, the THC vape pens.
Mickey,
What?
vape pens?
What
Really?
about vape pens? What are you talking about?
Aren't you a vapor now?
What the hell's your problem, Jerry?
You're a bad influence to these kids.
And more times than not, it's always I was holding it for a friend.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or even with just regular possessions of marijuana, I wasn't, but I was with somebody who was smoking. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those
are all good. Yeah, okay, I didn't even think about that, but that makes sense. The most common one is that their excuse is that it was somebody else. That makes sense. All right.
Obviously, you don't believe him, right?
Yeah, and those vape pens are a felony. We just watched. It wasn't you. It was JB. We just watched some body cam footage of a young girl, like you could tell, just typical college girl. And she was arrested for having a vape pen, and she was arrested for a fake ID. Look, we all know, we've seen the movie Superbad. Kids get fake IDs so they could go into bars. You know what I mean? And it's such a common thing to. And I'm not, how do you say it? Like lowering the seriousness of it, but what I'm trying to say, it's one of those things to where like we all have seen it, we all talk about it, we all laugh about it. Ha, kids with fake IDs, blah blah blah. All right, those are 2 felonies. You know what I mean? Like 2 felonies that she just got caught with. But in the video, it said that they actually were able to bring the charges down. Have you seen that? Like with all of the vape pens that kids are getting in trouble with.
There's always different kinds of alternative resolutions, right? I don't think anybody wants, young middle schoolers to have something on their record, like right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's alternative resolutions to different kinds of cases, and I'll tell you, it all depends. You're talking about, what kind of excuses. Every set of circumstances is different. And every judge is different, right? So it depends on what judge you're going to see, and then it all depends on the interaction. If you get to talk to the person, how contrite they are, or if you could tell that they're just kind of bullshitting you or whatever. And all that kind of goes a long way in the process of the assessment of what decision you're going to make.
Oh wow.
So you got to be like good at reading people too to be a judge, right?
It helps, yeah.
Or if
sure.
if you're getting prosecuted, you got to be good at like a total sociopath or something. I don't even like that.
So look, and I'll tell you my basic philosophy as a judge. I try to help everybody out as much as I can within the confines of the discretion that I have, right? A lot of times people come into the court and they want to ask for things that I just don't have the authority to do, right? A lot of people ask me all the time, what is it that you do most as judge? And my answer is always the same. The thing that I do the most as judge is explain what I can and what I cannot do. Because, some people will come in and they'll say, hey, Mickey's playing his freaking music too loud.
Yeah, of course.
Can you send him a letter, or can you call him and tell him? Well, that's not my, that's not the process. I don't have the authority to, in my judge capacity, to call Mickey and say, hey, I'm the judge of this court, and if you don't lower it down, something's going to happen. That would be improper for me to do.
Damn, I was gonna ask for a favor. All right, no, I'm sorry. But continue.
No, that was
Oh, well,
As a judge, who's your boss? Like, who do you answer to?
the people who elected me.
it's true. The people.
Wow, that was
Now, I say that, because we have to run for re-election, right?
Oh,
if
yeah,
we want to stay.
Yeah.
But, if you're talking in terms of like our budget and any kind of things that we're requesting for our office, all that goes through the county commissioner's court, and the county judge. So we have to put in those requests and all that. There's a process for everything.
nice.
Have you got any threats yet? No people threatening you?
No, not that I can think of.
They heard
no.
about the brown belt and they were like, fuck that. I'm not going to threaten this guy. We could run up on him at a Calacas and get choked out. Like, no, thank you.
All right. Yeah. What about, how long? I'm trying to think. I feel like you just got your brown belt recently, but how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu? I feel like it hasn't been that long, right? Or no? Has it been a long time? Am I making this up?
Total, I would say about 7.5 years, maybe.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's very appropriate.
Yeah, that's
how
the
long
right
had you
amount of
been doing
time.
jiu-jitsu when I met you? I felt like I met you not that long ago. Am I making this up?
Well, I started with Johnny back in like 2010,
Okay.
and then I went for about 2 years, maybe a year and a half to 2 years,
Yeah.
and then
In Brownsville, when he was in Brownsville.
in Brownsville.
Johnny Garcia in Brownsville. Johnny
Yeah.
Garcia, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That was when he was upstairs, right?
Was he in Paredes?
He was
Well,
already on the upstairs.
I started when he was at Four Corners,
At a different, okay.
and
Okay.
then we went to the Paredes
Oh, okay.
upstairs,
Upstairs. Oh.
and then we went to the warehouse on 14th.
Okay, I remember the warehouse.
And then life caught up with me, man. My wife got pregnant, and that was just too deep into Brownsville for me to be making it all the time.
Yeah, 14th was very far away.
Yeah. So I ended up I stopped going for a good while up until January of 2019. And since January of 2019, I've been pretty consistent.
That's pretty crazy. I like that. I don't remember interacting with you too much. Did we interact at the 14th?
I remember you.
When he was at 14th, I kind of started going less and less, and I stopped going for that same reason. It was just too far.
I remember you, but yeah, I don't think we had too much interaction.
Oh, okay. Well, that's so crazy. Well, I've known you for a lot longer than that. Wow.
Well, you were at that during that time. You were how old? I mean,
Yeah, I started jiu-jitsu in 2012, and then I started at Paredes when they were there. So I was probably when they were at 14th Street. I don't know, like 21, 22.
When he went to 14th Street, I think that was like 2015, 2014.
no, it was like 2012 because that's when I stopped. Yeah,
Because
No,
I think it was after I graduated high school.
It wasn't 20. It wasn't. Shoot, I don't know.
It would have had to have been actually.
Regardless, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know you've been going that long. Wow. Or like there was a space in between,
Right.
but still, I didn't know that at some point we interacted in the past. Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
and I'll tell you, when I started again in January 2019, it was pretty amazing how everything from the set. There was a 7-year gap, and I pretty much remembered everything from that I had learned in those 2 years. Now my cardio that was horrible, right? That was the worst thing, but the actual technique that I had learned was still there.
Yeah, it's like a bike. And sometimes I kind of feel like I get better when I stop doing it for a while, because I feel like I start not like appreciating it, but also like just start. You spend all these years just thinking about jiu-jitsu. So once you do it, you're just thinking while you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're not just. If you do it too often, I feel like you're just going through the motions and you're not really, thinking while you're doing it.
I think another thing to add to that too is when you don't go for a while, you let your body heal a little bit, and then when you go back, you feel a little stronger, a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I stopped when I had I've had little breaks. Like I think the longest was like a year or something like that, a year and a half. But I was still young when I took those breaks. So like, man, now I'm starting to realize, and I'll probably be one of those people to where I keep telling the younger generation the same thing, to where like your body's going to start. It's not going to be the same body. Cause I truly feel like I remember being that young, and it's like I was on steroids. Like nothing can stop me. Like I can just go. And it was, like it was no big deal. But now it's all falling apart, dude.
Well, I started. I mean, I was 32 when I started, something like that.
Yeah. See, that's how old I'm approaching, and my body's starting to like, not be very good. So I trying to be more body.
Need more kombucha, buddy.
Yeah, more kombucha. Yeah,
More kombucha.
yeah. Trying to take care of our gut health. So that's what we do on the Mickey G channel.
Wait, Chuy, so what made you want to be a lawyer and then lead into, or an attorney and lead into being a judge?
So, I graduated from Texas A&M University in College Station, and then I came down. It's kind of funny. I got a degree in food science and technology,
What the hell?
and so I came home to the Valley, and I was actually having
I didn't even know that was a degree.
a
That's
hard.
like so different.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you an example of what that degree, what kind of job that degree can give you. Remember the old H&H in Mercedes, the chorizo factory?
No.
Not at all.
I just told you.
Sorry, man.
So when I moved back to the Valley from College Station, there was a process of I had spoken with the owner over there, and they had been sending all their meat, outsourced it to get tested for microbes and stuff like that.
Oh, that's what I need in my body. More microbes.
And so they were in the process of trying to build their own lab here, and I was going to kind of be
Oh,
at the
you're gonna oversee
inception
it.
of that,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
But that kind of fell through. So then I ended up having a kind of a difficult time finding a job in that field, and I ended up getting a job at the Texas Workforce Center, helping other people find jobs.
Oh, nice.
Irony.
So and I had always liked TV shows, with law, about the law, with lawyers, and
Hey, me too. All right. Sorry.
so at some point, I was 26, 27, and you know, I was like, man, I'm already in my, you know, later 20s. I need to do something.
You start
know?
questioning everything.
Yeah. So I said, you know what, let me just do it. And I applied to law school and started law school when I was 27.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, you just decided.
Well, I didn't just decide, you know,
Yeah.
you know, it had been in my mind for a while. And then,
But I
you
mean,
know,
like you just made the switch. Like you're doing something totally different. And you just made the switch.
well, to go to law school, you just need a bachelor's degree. You know, it doesn't matter what it
Dude,
is.
we could go
Dude,
to law
let's
school.
be
We could go to
lawyers,
law
man.
school.
Hell
That's
yeah.
crazy. I don't know. Law school looks hard, man. I saw Legally Blonde and all. Like, there's no way I could remember that stuff.
So how old are you guys?
Yeah, I'm 30.
Yeah, we're both 30.
You're both 30. So I started law school when I was 27, and one of my very good friends that started with me, he passed away. You know, rest in peace. He was 50 years old when he started law school.
Oh, dang.
Now he really completely changed careers and shifted gears, and became a family law attorney. So yeah, I mean,
Oh, nice.
y'all can still go to law school.
Yeah, no, but I believe you when you say it's, it's difficult. And that's why, like, it's just like I can, very
Yeah.
difficult. Like you have to be extremely read, extremely
Yep.
in the now. Like it's a mixture of a bunch of reading and a bunch of like, knowing people, like getting to
It's a lot of smarts that we don't have.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
it's
think-
or how do I say this simply? It's a lot of thinking.
Yeah,
Okay. There's a lot of thinking involved in it.
connect the dots between cases and stuff.
Yeah,
and no
w-
cases and
Yeah, we're more of the tell us where to put the box
Yeah.
kind of guys. Or like tell us what to do and we'll do it type of
that's
guys.
exactly what I do at work. Yeah, I do that at work right now, and it's working out. So
And you're happy.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
What's that got to do with it? Why you got to bring that
when
up?
I get paid, yeah. Like,
so what are y'all's degrees in?
mine's in psychology.
Okay.
Oh, you just graduated,
Yeah, I
right?
just graduated. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jerry.
Congratulations.
I actually applied for my master's already. Hopefully, I get in. So,
Very good.
we'll see.
Master Jerry.
That's the goal.
So that, talk about reading people. You can go to law school and become a judge.
You know, everyone keeps telling me like, "Oh,
Become
don't
a judge, Jerry."
psychologize me," and I'm like, "Bro, like, that degree did not help me learn to read people at all." Like,
I still don't know how to read people.
And what about you, Mickey? What's your degree in?
Computer science. So technically, I'm a scientist. I like to tell people, that way they know. I'm a scientist. Okay. No, and the same thing. I know nothing about computers. So yeah, it is what it is.
I always forget what Mickey's job is, and he's been telling me his job for like years already.
Sometimes I forget what my job
Everyone's job
is.
is. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, I work in computers, like data stuff.
You're like Chandler from Friends. Nobody ever knew what
Dude,
he
that's exactly what I told him. Yeah, I have no idea what he does.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. But that's why, like, I just, from what I've seen, it's just a lot of, you have to be very, very like motivated and really be embedded in it. You know what I mean? Like, like my job is just my job. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's not.
So is it really like a lot of reading, a lot of late night studying, a lot of random exams?
Wait, also
like,
let me point out that I do love my job. So nobody,
if you're listening from Mickey's job,
anybody from my job, I'm not saying anything bad
you
about
have
it.
people that work above me that probably watch this, probably not. But if you're watching, I love being a case manager.
Yeah, Jerry
Best
loves his job.
ever.
As we all love our jobs,
that's
okay?
just
So
me.
yeah, don't. All right.
Wait, so what was law school like? Like going in, especially from a completely different field. And I'd imagine when you went to law school, you were out of school for what, like a good amount of years.
Well, I'll tell you what. The first year is the most intense year, and it is pretty intense. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to. I'm trying to go for more of the like laid back. chill.
I don't want to
kinda-
work hard.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Well, that first year, a lot of people get weeded out.
We'd get weeded
yeah,
out.
that's me.
Yeah,
That's
us.
me.
Yeah, that's definitely us. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And the second and third years, they're still tough, but definitely not as intense and not that pressure of oh man, I may not come back next
You
year.
kind of like assimilate into the whole
Yeah.
culture of school, of law school.
But then law school is basically a 3-year study course for the bar exam.
Oh, wow.
And then when you take the bar exam, you take it's like a 6-week course that kind of summarizes all 3 years of law school.
Is it possible to just, I've seen this in movies. Is it possible
You're
to
talking about the
just
show Suits?
No, not at
Yeah, I
all.
was
That's
gonna
what I'm
bring
saying. It's
that up.
coming in, that for people to just take the bar exam.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
I'm not.
I doubt they
really too
pass,
sure.
right? Like,
I'm not really too sure.
But I mean, like if they just bought a book.
yeah,
studied it.
because have you heard of the show Suits?
Yeah, of
that's
course.
what
Yeah.
he says that. I've only seen clips on TikTok, right? But
You haven't
he-
seen the show?
No, I've only seen everything I know about that show I learned from TikTok. But in one of the scenes, he's telling the guy he took the bar as like a dare, or someone told him he couldn't do it,
Right.
and so he took it and passed without ever going to law school.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if that's possible. Like,
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that show that's probably not.
Exactly. Accurate.
Did you hear it from Mickey's friend also? The same friend I told Mickey about
Mickey's friend, who's actually just Mickey.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends who are in trouble.
How similar was Legally Blonde to law school?
Be honest, don't lie.
100% honesty right now.
I'm going to be honest. I have seen that movie, but
It's a great movie.
I don't remember
Fantastic.
any part of it. I have to rewatch it.
Let's watch it right now.
All right. Would you be willing to do a
Copyright
live viewing of Legally
And
Blonde?
critique everything from the movie.
Would you be willing to do a live viewing of Legally Blonde and Legally Blonde 2
I didn't like part 2.
back to back?
I didn't like part 2.
Yeah. All right. Either way. All right. Well, look on this channel, the Mickey G channel, we have been we're trying to find our niche, and so what we do is we try to catch on to the algorithm by doing like some topical stuff. So if you don't mind, Chuy, doing us the honor of joining us on this week's topics.
Sure.
Nice. Let's get it done.
All right.
All right. Just kidding. Okay.
I like that little voice he does. It makes it sound like some other person.
Dude, I don't know how he does that.
Yeah.
It has to be an app or something.
It's all in the beauty of live production, ladies and gentlemen. All right. All right. All right, let's get all the lowbrow stuff out of the way, okay? I just...
That's the whole show. What do you mean get it out of the way?
Yeah, I don't want to waste your time, Chuy.
That's all we have.
So let's go straight through the lowbrow
Hey,
stuff.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right,
Don't
all
worry
right.
I
about
feel like
me.
we've already wasted a judge's time enough today. Like, we asked him questions that everybody else knew except for us.
Exactly. Why are you asking them what was it that we didn't know what it was? The plenary.
Don't tell me you already
I
forgot
already
about
forgot what it
precincts.
was.
Oh, the precincts.
Precincts.
You're talking about the municipalities.
Municipalities.
There you go.
I just said precinct
Nice.
because that was the last word I remembered.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
Ah, shit.
All right. So the last week, our live stream, we did a special watch party for the Love Is Blind season 6 finale. He answered that question. What's the just? Oh, she's criticizing that we asked that question. All right. My
What
bad.
was the question?
Who's criticizing you?
What's the justice of the peace? We invited a justice of the peace, not knowing what was a justice of the peace. All right, that's hilarious. Okay, last week we did a special watch party on for the season 6 finale of Love Is Blind.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know what Love Is Blind is.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
wow.
perfect. It is.
Mickey's about to teach you something
Yeah, I'm gonna.
that you don't need to know for your work.
Yeah. Love Is Blind is total garbage, and I love it.
Yeah. Who
What
doesn't
channel
love
is that
garbage,
on?
huh?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
On
yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a TV show where people date. I think it's like 16 different 16 people date, but they're in separate rooms, and there's a blind covering them, so they
They're
can
not
only
allowed to
hear
see
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not allowed to see each other. They can only talk to each other. I think for like 2 weeks. And if they find the person that they fall in love with at the end of the 2 weeks, or any time during that 2 week span, they can propose to them, and the TV show will pay for the wedding.
To prove that love is blind.
To prove that love is blind. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
None of what you're saying is making me want to watch this.
oh man, you'll love it.
Mickey
dude.
made me watch all of season 6 just so I could come out on the watch party.
You'll love it,
episode.
dude. It's total garbage.
It caught me.
I'm gonna give it a try.
It
I'm
caught
gonna, I'm
me,
gonna give it a
yeah.
try.
It's trash, dude.
Hey, real
yeah.
quick before I forget,
Yeah.
because I know he's watching, and I was gonna give him a shout out. your friend and mine, Mr. Ray Villarreal. I just want to send him a shout out there.
Oh wait, the wrong one. Damn, I get the wrong one. All right, hold on. Let me get the. There you go. Go Ray.
Ray, if
he is
you're
watching, right? Is he watching?
I don't know. I can't see who's watching. I can only see who's commenting.
Ray,
so
if you're watching, comment about Love Is Blind right now.
Yes.
What your thoughts were.
Exactly. All right. There you go.
I'd be very surprised if Ray knew what Love Is Blind is.
Oh, he would love the show. I guarantee you he loves it. But okay, so that's why we're gonna do our own version of Love Is Blind on the podcast, and if you could do us the honor of being the justice or the person who marries them. So.
Sure.
Who's gonna be?
That's one of my duties as well. Is marrying people.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I keep hitting the wrong one. These freaking sound.
What I usually do is I'll marry the couple, and then I'll give them a card, my attorney card, in case they need a divorce later on.
Hey, that's great business. Has anyone called back?
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Like,
Dude,
thank
that's smart
God.
though. Like,
Yeah, but so it's trash TV, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
And so we watched the season finale, and there's this couple that they made it all the way to the altar, and that is when he told her, like, look, I want to keep doing this with you, but I can't say I do right now. So they split up. Or so he thought that they were going to keep dating after the show, but once he said no, she just dropped him. She didn't want to date him anymore. She was like, if he's not going to marry me, then I don't want to, I don't want to be with him.
do you blame her?
Yes, I do. And
course you
let me tell you why. Okay. So this is what happened. What happened was a lot of people were criticizing him that he was being so fake, that he wasn't being honest. He didn't go there for the right reasons. She was there to get married. And from the beginning, he was playing her, and he wasn't being honest that he wasn't ready to get married. Okay. Well, let's bring out all the cheese man to where, let's see. Okay. Here's the receipts. All right, so Clay, the guy who said no at the altar, he just, or actually, let me go to this photo first.
Man, where did? Oh yeah, I forgot you're in a group chat.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was like, where did you get all this stuff from?
I'm all over the group chats. All right, so
Yeah.
let's check it out. All right, so his friend commented on one of the posts that. All right, where is it? I think it's the next one. Okay. I'm Clay's best friend, and we both have been living out in Charlotte for years now. This is where the show took place. AD's finances are, in fact, funny. She has a sugar daddy that is funding her life, bought her a car and an apartment. She's not a realtor. On the show, she said she was a realtor. Ask her to show us one house she sold or a picture she took with someone in front of the house she just sold them. I'll wait. The never to do a press run to lie on a dude that has said nothing but kind, respectful things about her is nasty work. And then within those comments of his comment, he put November 2023, around her birthday, her sugar daddy confronted Clay and I outside the club, stating he was still involved with her and had been the entire time, and told Clay to stop messing with her.
Whoa.
And so that's why all the criticism going to him that he wasn't being real, all this stuff. And that's what, so that's what she said. I'm a realtor, and I also promote a club, or I do club promotion or something. She was like a club manager or something. Well, that club belonged to her ex-boyfriend, this guy that they're talking about. He's the one who owns the club. And so that's why they're saying, like, she doesn't work for no club. He's just giving her money. Like, she's that's her, she's a sugar baby.
Sounds like a good job to me.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I would love it. Dude, if Priscilla paid me to, all right, never mind. All right. So
I'm
let
glad
me
you didn't finish that.
let me go straight to that part. And here's where he kind of alludes to it, or kind of admits it a little bit, but here we go. All right.
Well,
yeah.
And so, like you said, you guys didn't have those conversations, but what was it? And because I want you to be able to discuss that too, because finances are an important conversation
huge, yeah.
that can happen if people are planning to get married. So what was it that kind of signaled a red flag for you when it came to her finances?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, for me, personally, I wasn't never saying that AD's finances was a reason why we wouldn't be together. I was saying that I didn't understand it enough for us to get married at this time period. Like, I just want to remind everybody, this is 6 weeks, and I'm gonna take ownership that I probably should have had a little bit more conversations about the finances, but I just want to remind everyone that there's so much going on at that time. Every day is a different theme. So we talked about the finances in the pods. What I saw from AD in the pods was a little bit different than what I saw when we were actually in Charlotte together.
Exactly.
We vibed off of entrepreneur spirit. We vibed off of working hard, and then when I felt like when we came back to the house. She dedicated all her time to be a wife, and that's cool and everything, but that's not really what I fell in love with her about, like her biggest thing was like, Clay, I got your back, I'm gonna support you. And to me, that's just not a motivation for me to get married, because I have a lot of people that got my back. I want to be motivated by my partner as well. I think it's a partnership, and I'm big on marriage. I don't want to get a divorce. And one of the things I know that people get divorces over is finances. So for me, you know what I'm saying? So finances is big. So, AD had an ex-boyfriend before she did the experiment. I think she kind of talked about it on a podcast. And
ex-boyfriend.
For me, I thought that she said she was a real estate agent. I didn't really see her, in that field, because she was, dedicated to the process, and that's good for her. A lot of other people were dedicated to the process as well. But for me, I felt as though for me to say I do, I needed to see, how what was going on, like how are you making your money?
Oh wait, here it goes.
This may not be true, but to me it seemed like all the finances came from that ex-boyfriend. So
he had a club. She worked at his club.
She worked at his club.
Also, in addition to real estate, in addition to being a realtor.
It sounds like you're saying maybe she wanted to be a stay-at-home wife.
All right. But that's pretty much what was going on, is that that's why she wasn't working for no club. Her ex-boyfriend owned a club and gave her money. So she took, told people I work for a club. So she's not selling houses. She's not working.
Wow.
Just like that, it all came out.
So he was getting criticized?
Yeah, he was getting criticized because he said no at the altar. And it seemed, and just the same way he was saying it right now, she was so invested into him that hey, I just want to be, I'm just going to be here for you. I'm going to be at the house all day. It sounds like she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, that, I'm here. She told him, I'm a realtor and I manage a club at night or something like that. I work at a club at night. Well, after they got out of the show and they actually lived together, she wasn't selling any houses and she wasn't at the club either. And so it's what's going on. So that's why it's to where those are the things that added up to where hey, I don't, but she's saying the reason why I'm not, at those, it's because I'm here for you. I'm here to support you and all this stuff. And no, the reason why you're not doing that is because you were never selling houses and there was never no club job. What happened was you were, a sugar baby.
For shame.
So whose side were you on, Jerry?
I was on AD's side because she was stacked.
Yeah, she was hella stacked.
But look, Chuy, do they have a case in this to sue because she lied about her finances and what she was making?
Why would he sue her for what?
He could sue the show. They put someone on the show for lying. He fell in love with a liar.
Okay, what are they gonna arrest him for?
Vicky, not everyone's getting arrested for decibels.
All right.
What do you think, Chuy?
You can go ahead and answer the question.
Well,
he's gonna sue the show for lying and putting her on the show because she wasn't making money.
But I think he came out on top by saying no.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but money also would make him on top, right?
Jerry, that's a dumb question.
Frivolous lawsuit.
All right, that's a great question. That's a good
That's
example.
what I'm saying.
Well,
great example.
I think everything that he said sounded like something a reasonable person would say and assess the situation, in a reasonable manner. I think that was pretty
exactly
pretty spot on.
Okay, after I find out all this stuff about you, I'm gonna say yes at the altar. I thought you were heavily and that's what he was saying. When we were in the pot, you said you were motivated to be an entrepreneur and all this stuff. And if you hear him in the show, he's so passionate about that. Hey, let's make a bunch of money. Let's work and do this. But yeah, there it is.
Well,
I guess.
So you said this was season 2?
Season 6.
Season 6.
Yeah, start off with season 6 because I think they got the formula together pretty well.
So skip 1 through 5. Just go to season 6.
Yeah, they're not, they don't interlock with each other. So yeah, you can
It
start
doesn't
off
matter.
there, whichever
Start
season.
wherever. Yeah, I only watched season 6 because Mickey made me.
Yeah, I recommend season 6 just because it has
Was
all
it good, Jerry?
has all the juicy stuff.
You know what? It gets really good once they're out of the pods. Yeah. That's where it really takes off. Yeah, for sure. Especially when you were following the drama live on TikTok after every episode. It was great.
Yeah.
So
Are you gonna?
how does this show differ than from like the other shows like you remember that the flavor of love?
Oh man,
that's
dude.
the best part. It doesn't. It's
That's
total
Mickey's
trash,
favorite show, is Flavor of Love.
dude. I love the flavor of love shows.
That's
dude.
his whole
So
thing.
did I. It was good.
Exactly. This. Oh, dude. You're
And
gonna
then even
You're gonna love this one, Chewy.
I forgot her name. She was one of the females on Flavor of Love, and then
I
she
love
had her
New
own.
York.
I love New York.
I love New York.
New York, and there was I Love New York too. I think.
Yeah,
right?
dude. Those, I watched all of those trash shows.
Yeah, he
I
had
did like those.
He went through a
Those were
phase.
good.
Yeah, he marathoned them. Yeah.
Dude, I watched all of those shows. I watched the I Love New York, I Love Money.
My
all
mom
of the
also
spin-offs.
loved those shows.
Real Chance of Love. They get worse.
Wait, what? Real Chance of Love?
Yeah, Chance
I didn't hear
and
that.
Chance and Real from I Love New
Oh,
York.
Really?
That's right.
Oh, I
That's
didn't know that.
right.
Wow.
Dude, I'm telling you. Dude.
That's right.
Whoa.
Even I forgot what it was called, but it was like Frank's Basement or something like that. It
That
was
one
like-
sounds bad.
was
That one
like-
sounds wrong.
Yeah, that one wasn't. It wasn't a good one. I don't even think. I don't even know if it finished the whole season. I don't know. That one wasn't a good one to watch though. All right.
Those shows were so horrible, but they were so good.
Exactly.
Trashy TV is great, man.
And I think the producers do such a good job of putting them in such a warped reality to where like they can afford to, it doesn't need to be scripted. You know what I mean? Just let it play out because they put them in such horrible, like non-ideal
the producers are back there kind of pulling a little bit of strings to be like, hey, like, what if we tell them to do this just to see what happens, It makes for entertaining TV. Like Jersey Shore, man. I love Jersey Shore.
I like Jersey Shore too.
Do you know? And a lot of people were saying that that the reason why a lot of them would wait till the altar was because there was some contract that if they didn't, and this is what I heard, that there's a contract that if they don't, like, once they propose, they have to at least make it to the altar. Unless the producers give them approval. But this is what I found out is that this contract it's not true. Here we go.
I have a question. I don't know if you can answer this.
Go ahead.
So I saw somewhere that in your Love is Blind contract that if you don't show up to the altar, if you don't get married or something like that, you can be fined like $50,000.
No.
It was like the girl showed like the line item.
I saw that same
I didn't really look
TikTok.
into that because I was thinking in my head, like, how did that even leak? Like, I just be feeling like
So you
I seen
saw
so
it.
much cap on the internet
Okay.
from this stuff. So I don't know. I didn't really dive into it, but I seriously doubt she has somebody on our cast schedule because it's not like we printed it out. Like we got it in a DocuSign email.
okay,
So it's like even when she how did she get that?
Okay.
So
So that's not true.
it's not true. Now, they're not saying it, but you kind of feel like a little pressure to go to the altar and stuff like that. But like they're not articulating that, and the staff was amazing. They didn't push me.
So pretty much, yeah, like there is no contract. It's just like, it's just, I think that's why they just put them so much in a bubble that they feel the pressure. You know what I mean?
Would that even be legally binding to put a contract like you have to get married or you have to pay $50,000?
Not that you have to get married, but if you don't want to get married, after you propose, this was the idea. This isn't true. I'm defending this stupid idea that wasn't even true. But like the idea was that if you decided to propose, once you proposed, you could not break out of the show until you're at the altar. So if you wanted to not get married after you proposed, then you have to say no at the altar. You can't end it before.
Isn't there something like that where you sign a contract, but the contract wasn't like it didn't make sense or something, the terms of the contract, so therefore it's not legally binding? Like,
Well, it all depends. Contract. It has to be a meeting of the minds, right? Everything in the contract is within the four corners of the contract, right? So there has to be a meeting of the minds by both parties, and if there's any ambiguity, in the contract, well, then that's what courts are for, right? And that's what, they have the civil disputes. They take them to a judge, and then the judge can determine, the legality of whether that contract is binding or not.
And court have any young kids, these Gen Zs, have they said any slang like cap, trust, or fam? Anything like that?
I have no idea what any of that means.
Okay.
I guess that's a no. Yeah.
Just checking.
I'm 48 years old, Mickey. For whatever that means.
Don't tell me these things.
Have you had someone argue a contract or like in court before? Like something like this?
No, not like this.
Not that serious.
Not like
right?
Love is Blind.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, our next topic. All right. Earlier this week, I think, post was put up, and this was locally here in the Valley on the Rio Grande Valley Reddit thread.
There's a Rio Grande Valley Reddit thread.
There's every Reddit thread.
What is there to do here in the Valley?
That
it
looks
was so
somebody
important to put on Reddit?
dropped off their abandoned their dog, and one of them was paralyzed.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it was very, very. I don't know where this footage is coming from, but maybe it's just a place where they have a lot of abandoned. I don't know, whatever. But look, one of them's paralyzed. This was here in the Valley.
It's dark as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Why would you show that?
Okay, well, the reason why I'm showing it is because it went viral online here in the Valley, and so people were really upset about it. This happened in Edinburgh, and so it turns out, look, they got the guy.
Oh shit, good. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, look, he's been arrested. I don't know what his name is. Let me check. Let me see. With information regarding this case. Do you see
David Olivares?
David Olivares. This is the guy who threw out those dogs. So, all the people who have contributed to capturing this guy. I don't know how you do it, but we appreciate you.
Nice.
He's been caught. We got him.
Good job, Reddit. You finally did something good.
That's the guy. That's the guy who abandoned those dogs.
He looks like a dog abandoner.
Yeah, very much. All right. Do you get any cases about dogs, like dogs biting people or something like that? Like,
Very rare, but those cases do go through our JP court. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what, you handle San Benito, and that's what, like, we both grew up in San Benito, and that's one of the things that to this day, I cannot stand, is that in San Benito, everyone has a dog, but nobody has a fence. Like, everyone has a dog, but they're always running around all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
I grew up in San Benito too.
Yeah.
So you get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogs everywhere.
Yeah. Every time I'd go for a run, there'd be a dog, to where it's supposed to be in a fence, but it goes through the fence, or just loose dogs. It's been very inconvenient. All right. This just came out recently. Harlingen police investigating after body found on Canal Bank. This was 2 days ago. Harlingen police are investigating a body that was found in Canal Bank Wednesday. Sergeant Larry Moore said an elderly man was found deceased at the 3000 block of North 25th Street. Apparently that's next to the MMA, the Marine Military Academy. He said it appears the man may have taken his own life, but police are treating the case as a homicide until an autopsy confirms the cause of death. How does somebody take their own life through throwing themselves in a canal?
Maybe he wanted to cool down.
Oh my God. What the hell's your problem?
No.
Oh my God.
No, like I was saying, like genuinely, like maybe it was an accident. Like he was like wanting to jump in for a swim and he couldn't swim.
Gosh, Jerry.
It happens.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
So another one of our duties as a JP is getting called out to pronounce the deaths on cases like this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So I can guarantee you, one of my colleagues, how I told you there's 10 JPs, I can guarantee you one of them was the one that went out there to order that autopsy.
Damn, that's great. Man, who would have thought how integrated,
Do they call you guys at all hours of the night for that too?
For those two, yeah.
Dang.
Wow. And see, and people like me come out and put it on a podcast. So look, all of our lives, intersect at some point. How sweet.
I don't think that's a good time to say that.
Their lives intersect. All right. Yeah. Well, for a long time, oh shoot. Our next topic. For a long time, Conor McGregor. He just came out with the Roadhouse movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. Have you seen it?
I haven't. I heard okay things.
It just came out yesterday. Yesterday. It just came out yesterday, and I saw it yesterday.
What did you think of it?
I saw it right when it came out. I love Conor McGregor's character. I just wish he was the antagonist. I felt like the antagonist. There was too many antagonists. There was like too many there was. He had a big part, but I just wish it was either bigger or I don't know. I wish they had less antagonists.
Oh, so there wasn't like one main bad like villain.
Dude, there was, but like there was just too many pieces. I didn't like how many pieces were in the story, but but there's some parts of it that are like to where I'm like, okay, if you're gonna go this route, then just go all the way dumb. Like, you're either gonna be like,
so it's pretty dumb.
Okay, you're either gonna be like a, you're either gonna be like a Taken, like to where it's like action packed, or it's gonna be like a Never Back Down, to where like it's all the way cheesy, all the way everything, and it was kind of like a Never Back Down. So I thought, okay, let's go all the way. There's some scenes in there, one scene particularly that's like hilarious, dude. But it's pretty awesome how it panned out. But there's some cheesy parts in there that you can appreciate. Overall, it was all right.
How does it compare to the original?
I've only seen like half of the original. Yeah, so the original I think was a lot more down to earth. Yeah, this one's a little more cheesy and over the top a little bit. And I don't know how the original seemed more down to earth, like it was more domesticated, like there wasn't too much. Like half of it was because it was in the middle of nowhere, right? The original. Yeah. So that's why they were able to get away with a lot of things. Here, to make it make sense, because it's in the Keys where there are people. There was too many elements, and that's what I mean. I felt like the conflict was a little too overcomplicated, but I love the fact that it was cheesy, over the top. Heads up, you see a lot of Conor McGregor ass in there. Okay, so if you've ever wanted to see
Conor, nice ass?
If you have, it's great. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I didn't think you were gonna say it was great.
Yeah.
Wait, how was his acting?
There's some parts that are better than others, but I just love that the best thing that they did was they casted him to be a crazy animated himself.
Oh yeah, like a juiced up cokehead.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice.
Speaking of juiced up cokehead, all right. A lot of people are accusing Conor McGregor of being a juiced up cokehead.
He's on the sauce for sure.
Yeah, they just that he just doesn't seem right sometimes. Sometimes he seems like under the influence. Mm-hmm. And there's different examples that people have given. This is one of the examples that probably looks like the most plain, that like, oh wow, Conor McGregor really looks out of it. All right, so here we go. Let me go ahead and put it up.
Combat sports athlete before Southpaw, but this is a whole different game. What was that like for you?
It was great fun. I mean, he was from the very beginning. Conor said to me, he was like,
I'm
a white belt and making movies and acting, and I'm here to learn. And that was the way it was the whole time. But on the opposite end, I'm a white belt in the fight game, and in terms of fights and what they look like and how authentic it is, I know it was so important to you from the very beginning that the fight fans always
see here. He just looks tired.
Original, something fun, and so. He was always coaching me.
He won't stop blinking.
But that's why it's the unnecessary blinks, the unnecessary twitches, and he keeps shrugging his shoulders.
But movie fans in the end too will love this movie even more.
Like he has a bunch of ticks.
From the realism when it came to the fight game.
Here it goes.
Jake's a consummate professional. 75 movies made. I'm blessed to have entered into the movie alongside him.
He looks
off. Patient with me. He gave me guidance, and I just took it. We had a good rapport on set. He has 75 movies made. I have 75 bar fights made. And that's it. We had a good back and forth.
Jake, you have to take some real punches.
It's odd, right? That is such odd behavior. All right, Judge. You see him. You see him in court. He's trying to say, "I am not guilty of possession of illegal substances. Guilty or innocent?"
He's guilty of being off for sure. Yeah. Anybody who's seen interviews or video of Conor McGregor knows that that's a very different Conor McGregor. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's other examples too. Like here's where he just seems like down. Like he kind of seems like, you know,
that shrugging of the shoulders too is kind of
it was throwing me off.
And people have been noticing that he's been he's just have tics. Like he pulls up his collar a lot and he kind of like, you know, looks side to side a lot, and it just seems like he's on something. Like he's not in a good, you know, not in a good way.
If you had him sitting in court in front of you, like the way Mickey said, and you see him acting like that, can you or do you have the authority to like order a drug test right there and then for him? Or
it depends on the setting, the hearing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, judges can order drug tests for sure.
And so he's been accused of, you know, like doing drugs, stuff like that. It's, you know, like you said, we've seen him, his normal like way of moving, all this stuff. But like, yeah, it's just so odd. Like it's the same tics and it's like him, you know, looking side to side. And it'd be one thing if
I had not seen that or anything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe uncomfortable kind of watching him like.
Do you know, and here's the thing. It could be from, here's what I think. This is my theory.
Well, here we go.
I have a bunch of theories. So here we go. I think once he got involved into, I think he's dabbled with, you know, some illegal substances. I think once he got involved in Hollywood, he learned the trades. I think everyone in Hollywood is on some type of pills. Mm-hmm. Everyone in Hollywood is on some type of pills, and he learned the trade to be able to. That's one of the things that he spoke about. That when he got into Hollywood, he realized how long of hours they are. Sometimes they have 18-hour days or up till late. And I think the only way that they can, you know, keep up the energy is from, you know, doing something,
mm-hmm.
and some type of prescription drugs, something. And what's going on is that he learned the traits from Hollywood, but him being a fighter, so over the top, I don't think he's doing a good job of, you know, holding it in. I think he's abusing it or something. I don't know, but it doesn't look good. Not a good look.
Maybe he's detoxing off of it because allegedly he's going to fight in the summer.
Dude, and right now
allegedly.
That's what a lot of people think, that he's like detox. But like, dude, if you're detoxing,
Mm-hmm.
you can't do anything. Like you're like in hell. I don't know. But also this is him at a press tour. So he's doing day after day after day, interview after interview. So it wears down your body. And so even though you have all this energy, your body naturally shuts down. So it could just be he has all this energy, but like, you know, his body, you know, it could be just an incredible amount of stress.
Yeah.
Maybe mixed with a little bit of drugs.
A little bit of drugs.
It could be a mixture. I don't know. But, you know, those are my two theories. Either an immense amount of stress with a little bit of drugs, or he learned the drug trades from Hollywood and he's taking a lot of bit of drugs. So
have you had people act like that in court? Like twitchy, nervous, shaky, like really intense, where you could see their body, like they're acting unnatural?
Not too often. You know, people go to court, they know it's a serious setting. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it happens, right?
Yeah. Yeah, usually they present themselves pretty well.
Yeah.
Hopefully. During COVID, was it hell? Or was it better?
No, well, I mean, the whole Zoom thing started, so that made things pretty convenient. So a lot of courts still do Zoom.
Okay.
For certain hearings, yeah.
That's good. I heard a lot of people were like complaining about the court Zoom here because people would say, "Oh, my internet connection's not good," or I don't know.
Yeah, that kind of stuff happening. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
We're all dealing with new things during that time. You know, trying to navigate through that whole thing.
Or would you ever be like, hey, my internet connection's not that good. I can't show up to work.
Are you accusing the judge
Is that what you're all like, nah,
of disconnecting his internet?
I was like, nah, it's good with me. I like that. Yeah.
Like, oh, I just ordered DoorDash. Oh, my internet's out.
All right. Well, I don't know if you knew this, like, whatever. Kanye West, very like outspoken Christian, came out with several Christian albums, went on the Jimmy Kimmel show and professed his dedication to Christ and that everything he does is for Christ. I don't know. I don't know if you're aware of that, but recently he had been posting to market his clothing line and to market his new album. He had been posting pictures of his new wife because he broke up with Kim Kardashian. Did you know that they divorced?
That I knew.
Yeah. Okay. So he divorced with Kim Kardashian. Now he's with his new wife, Bianca. I forgot what it was. Sensori, I think.
West.
Bianca West. There you go. Okay. So with his new wife, he posted very provocative pictures of her wearing almost nothing. Like it's an ongoing joke that, now Kanye can't even afford to buy his wife clothes. Yeah, poor lady, because all the pictures he's posted, she's wearing like almost nothing. So they're saying like, hey, you're supposed to be a devout Christian. You got after, and we've done videos on this too, where you got after Kim Kardashian for wearing scantily clad clothes. And now your wife right now is wearing like, her body all over the place. And so this is what I learned recently. This was a recent interview that he did. And it turns out he's not so cool with God anymore. He's not so cool with Jesus anymore. Yeah, he turned sides. So here we go.
That did not last long.
Yeah, exactly. Kanye West, a one-time devout Christian, has turned sides. Or I don't know, this could be a phase. Whatever. Let's go to the video.
Here, and this is all you. We hear, Jesus is king. We hear this, but that's all you. Then there's sometimes you just want to say, man, not fuck it, but you just want to say, man, this is what I'm feeling right now. Are you in that space where you're comfortable enough to say, this is where I am right now? I'm still a man of God. Jesus still is king, but this is vultures right now. This is where I am.
It is, but I have my issues with Jesus. There's a lot of stuff I went through that I prayed and I didn't see Jesus show up. So I had to put my experience in this world, my experience with my children, my experience with other people, my experience with my account, my experience with my brand, and my experience with the level of music that I was dealing with in my own hands. Like a lot of times I just feel like in our society in America, people, Christians, we're depend on Jesus so much that we won't put the word in ourselves. And the main thing that really that I don't rock with is like, it's just always like, I'm gonna pray for you. And it's just like, you can actually physically do something yourself too, more than just pray.
So that's pretty much, it in a nutshell that he prayed for some things that he didn't get or he didn't receive. So he has problems with Jesus now. And so now he's taking things into his own hands at this point. Insane stuff. All right.
Well, he is insane.
Yeah, truly. All right. And so next up we find out not only is he having issues because, having issues with Jesus because of that, but also, and people remember that he would do the Sunday service where they would, it was pretty much a concert of his Christian music, but he had a huge choir travel with them and they would sing and do all these instruments. Okay, well, apparently they were all having sex with each other.
Oh, shit.
Nice. A lot of times when you go into the whole Jesus, devout, Paul level, fell off a donkey level religious, you have thoughts in your mind and that you hiding them from yourself. And then you sitting there and the whole choir is fucking, y'all singing about not fucking. Like, the niggas are stealing from you from the church. And it's like, man, like.
Wow.
That's why he just threw that out there. All my choir was having sex with each other. It's not and that's why I say, like, I think the worst thing about Christianity, but the obligation that we have. I don't know how to say this because I feel this way, but I also feel the opposite. But the worst thing about Christianity is Christians, and that's the whole point of being Christian, is to learn to live and love other Christians. So it's kind of like a catch-22. But I don't know, a very good example of what brought, Kanye West, he went into this world full in, and then he saw that, hey, sometimes things don't always work out. Like what you pray for, you don't always get. And sometimes the people that, you hold in high regard, oh, these are, this is a Christian choir. These are all Christians, that they'll do some pretty messed up stuff.
Yeah, sometimes people just be banging.
It'll turn to Babylon very quick. Your thoughts, Judge?
Nobody's perfect. We're all sinners. We all do, things that we're not proud of or that we shouldn't do, and every day is a struggle to be better, right? I think him saying, "Oh, I prayed for this," and Jesus didn't deliver. I think that's just a complete misunderstanding of the way it works when it comes to Jesus and Christianity. That I think that was very telling of his mentality. He's just a very selfish person. It's all about him, and he didn't get what he prayed for, so now he's mad about it, right?
Yeah, and do you know what? Speaking of a very selfish person, this was the next thing he had to say. And this is a product of very much what if you're not a Christian, if your allegiance isn't to Christ, then pretty much this is where you're at.
Every day.
How did you not so-called disappear? Like, because that's a hell of a fight.
Because I'm God. And anyone that disagree, I'm the God of me, and you can't tell me who I am. I can't tell y'all. I could tell y'all. It's y'all job to listen. I'm the God.
There you go. I'm the God of me. I'm God. I do what I tell myself to do. And and with that, let me connect another clip to that. This is so the idea, or I don't know. No, let's comment on that really quick. I'm making this up on the spot, but yeah, like the opposite.
No notes, Jerry. No notes.
That's exactly what my complaint. I'm telling you.
The opposite of following Christ is following yourself. Is like, okay, I'm going to decide what's good for me. I'm going to decide where wisdom comes from, where I obtain my wisdom, rather than leaning on, a transcendent, truth. And I don't know. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that's said it all right there. Yeah.
I agree.
What he said it all. I mean, that shows you what his mindset is. And, I don't take anything Kanye says too seriously anyway. So
that's the right. That's the right.
That's the right.
You should not listen to Kanye.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of people too. And even when Kanye started posting these scantily clad pictures of his wife, some people were defending him, like, "Hey, he can't post pictures of his bride that he loves." All stuff, like, dude. Okay, now we're getting way too liberal, dude. Like, this is getting out of hand. All right. And so, what's the opposite of following yourself and having comfort in following yourself? Is fearing God.
It just threats at the end of the day. It's like, why should you fear? It's another thing I don't like in Christianity, the fear of God. If God is love, why should you fear him? Because you place one fear, you get another fear, you get another fear. What do you have at that point? You're easily controllable. You're easily sellable. You're easily contracted because you have this fear on you. Like, everybody gonna die eventually, but I'm gonna live my entire life with zero fear. Fear of a contract.
Yeah, and that's why I just want to make it clear that, there's a difference between, like fear of God, like the English language fear of God, has like in a very definite definition, like in the context of like the actual word that's used. It's more of, and we're told this a lot. Like, it's not just fear, you know what I mean? It's actually, how do you say it? Reverence. Reverence. It's like an incredible reverence towards, a God. And that's why when they show the interactions that the humans have with God in the Bible, it's so awesome that they can't look at it, that they fall down. You know what I mean? Like, unfiltered, powerful goodness is overwhelming to where, like, they fall down. And that's, that hence the term, fear of God or whatever. It's a common, thing that was said in the Bible. But yeah, I don't know. Your thoughts on the whole fear God thing?
I mean, as the resident non-Christian, I don't know. I've always understood it as the way that it's read in the English language, like fear God. And what Kanye is saying is something that you hear a lot of people argue about, is if God's so good and if he's so this, why is he doing these things? Why should you fear him? You shouldn't be afraid. But then I've heard a lot of people explain it in the other sense, where they're like, first of all, that everything has its reason and, things like that. But also that it's not a fear because he's going to punish you, or a fear, like it's just a fear of, I don't know how, like not an actual way that we understand the word fear. But I really wouldn't know because I don't follow any of that. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, just for, definitional purposes, like the original Greek word that they use and then the original Hebrew word that they use, it's, it's a tensive word to where it could have many so the context is very important, and that fear of is like similar to like incredible reverence, like I don't know, but that's why, like, and some people, there's a lot of, how do you say, like fundamentalists, where they take things like to like, because it's written in English and they use the word fear, that they literally use the word, think of it as fear, like afraid.
Right. I think you're probably more right than not on what you're saying, Mickey. You have to take the context, and the times that these words were written, different landscape of things going on. And then again, going back to this guy, like,
yay.
Yay.
Because the Bible's been translated like multiple times,
that's
right?
What
and
people
it's not
say,
in its original language.
That's like a common atheist like talking point, that it was translated multiple times. No, we have the original Hebrew transcripts. The original Hebrew text, and we have the original Greek text, and then from like what the New Testament, where it was originally written in Greek. And then we have what's called I forgot what it's called, but it's the Greek version of the Hebrew Bible. So it was translated from Hebrew to Greek, but like, we see what they are, you know what I mean? But like from that, we've translated into different language, like Chinese,
So let me ask you this, Mickey. So what religion do you claim to be? If any.
I'm an Episcopalian. No, I'm kidding. Here's the problem, is that there's so many different denominations that I don't know, like, because I don't know what the different denominations are. I know I'm not a Calvinist. I'll tell you that off the bat.
A what?
A Calvinist.
Oh, Calvinist.
And I know I'm not a Catholic. I don't have anything against Catholicism, but I just know I'm not a Catholic because of what they call the papacy. So, but I don't know what I am, because I don't know.
Do you know you're not Jewish?
I am Jewish, actually. And some people could, in some ways, I can be a Messianic Jew. There is a sect of Judaism to where they don't want to give up their culture. They don't want to give up their traditions. So that's fine. Keep up your traditions and just, also acknowledge Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen you eat pork.
Yeah. No, I eat pork all the time. What the hell? What's your problem? Yeah.
So what were you?
I'm a Christian.
Were you raised in a certain religion, or?
Yeah, my parents always made it a point of like, oh, non-denominational. I don't have anything against denominations. I just don't know what all the different denominations are. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just a Christian. Yeah.
What about you, Jerry?
I am full blown atheist.
Full blown.
Yeah.
You're not agnostic?
Yeah. No.
So you're like Bill Maher.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I could be agnostic.
That's
I guess,
it.
If
I'm
you
gonna
want me
have to
be.
cut you down, Jerry.
Yeah, that's why you changed my
It is
answer.
logically impossible to be an atheist. I hope you know that.
Speaking, going back to the Greek, in the context and all that, because I am Catholic. I was raised Catholic, and
Ooh.
I just said it. Man.
So the word Catholic goes back. The Greek word is katolikos, right?
Yeah.
Which means universal. So basically, the Catholic Church is the universal church, right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about non-denomination, it can include everybody, right? It's supposed to include everybody, universal. So,
Yeah, I like that's why I say I don't know everything about the Catholic Church, but the reason why I don't consider myself a Catholic is because of the papacy, the lineage, to where they believe that they are the inherited church originally from Peter and all this stuff. That's where I kind of differ. Not that I have anything against it, you know what I mean? If anything, I think the church right now, in general, all denominations should look more like the Catholic Church. I think it should be a lot more structured. There should be some type of governing body, and some type of uniformity, and to where we all because with the Catholic Church, they're all in it together. It's not like, okay, hey, we didn't know that there were these people that existed. You know what I mean? Like they're actually like all in cahoots, right? Like they all know each other, or they're all like branches of each other.
whose branches?
Like, for example, if I were to go to the nearest Catholic church in Harlingen, would they have some type of how do you say this? Like not lineage, but some type of connection that goes all the way to the Catholic Church in Europe?
So, and I've taken a few, Bible study courses and stuff, right? So I can say from what I've learned, you're right about the branches, right? So the Catholic Church, it's the only church. Like if you go to a non-denomination church here in Harlingen and a non-denomination church in Brownsville on a certain Sunday, you're most likely going to be getting different messages, right? Or different parts of the Bible, explained or preached or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the Catholic Church is the only church. If you go to Mass at St. Teresa on Sunday,
yeah,
you can go to Mass in Russia, and it's going to be the exact same. There's always a reading from the Old Testament, a responsorial psalm, a reading from the New Testament, and then a reading from the Gospel.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you go to a Catholic service in Harlingen and one in Great Britain, it's going to be the exact same readings around the world.
Wow, that's awesome. I had no idea
That
it was
is
that
really crazy.
I had no idea it was that uniform. But
It's that uniform.
But yeah, that pretty much like goes to my point, is that like there's an actual governing body. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like there's actual order and structure. And
when you're talking about the, all the popes, that is documented. You can literally go back in time through all the popes, and that takes you straight back to Jesus Christ. So when Jesus made Peter the first, basically Peter was the first pope, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that Peter wasn't his original name. So when Jesus said, "You are the rock that I will build my church on,"
yeah,
going back to the context and words, right? I think it was in Greek, Petra. Petra means rock.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where Peter comes from.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the Catholic Church can be directly traced back straight to Jesus Christ through the popes, and then all the and look, I know there's a lot of issues with the Catholic Church, right? And legitimate and concerning, right? But every single priest that is at a church, there's called the laying of hands. When a priest gets ordained, the laying of hands of other priests on them, right? And that also goes back all the way to Jesus Christ, where the popes were their hands were laid on them. So it's a direct lineage back all the way back there. So it's.
Yeah, and that's a good example. Like, for example, I think that's really what it comes down to, and that's what I, what I was, like talking about the papacy to where like, okay, this is, we could link it directly. This is where the lineage comes from, and so that's why, like, when it comes down to it, the reason why I'm not a Calvinist is because I don't believe in, obviously the what's it called, preordination or whatever. And then with Catholicism, and it's with the I have a different interpretation of that verse about Peter being the rock, and so like this is really what I'm coming down to, is not this one topic, but in general, is that like our jobs as Christians is to be able to navigate these waters together, try to figure this out. But it can't be like, okay, because Chuy disagrees with me on this one thing, on this one thing, and we can't come to an agreement that's it. Forget about it. Like, Chuy's not my brother in Christ. We're both not the body. He's going to do his thing. I'm going to do my thing. That's the same thing as Kanye West ditching, all the, ditching Jesus. Like our brotherhood towards each other is a reflection of, Jesus's, loyalty to us. And, if I just said, okay, well, the reason why I don't believe this is because I just think that, you know what I mean? Like I have no argument. I have no sense of logic and reason, which we believe that God is the source of all logic, the source of all reason, the source of all truth. So if we follow that, there's, something to it. So like, if I didn't believe there was any logic or reason towards it, and I just blindly believe, something that's contrary, then it's like, okay, now Mickey's just following his own way. But like, this is the kind of issue that, not issue, but kind of one of many things that as Christians, we navigate the waters of like, how do we figure this out together? And also, how do we be loyal to each other like Jesus was loyal to us, and not just like, we're not unconsciously being loyal to Satan,
Well, I think it's pretty simple, man. When you talk about being Christ-like, right? Even Jerry, being an atheist, he can be Christ-like. Yeah. By just treating people good, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yep.
Treat yourself the way treat others the way you want to be treated. And I think it's pretty simple. I think people make things hard. All of us included, right? We like I said, nobody's perfect, and we're all human. And so, yeah.
Have you seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? The movie, or you read the book? I don't know. It's a kid's book. But that's why C.S. Lewis, who wrote it, he wrote it as a metaphor of Christianity. And so Aslan, who's supposed to be the Christ figure, he sacrifices himself in the place of one of the children, because one of the children lied and was a traitor, whatever. And what happened was they sacrificed him, but he came back to life. And he said that the reason why he came back to life was because the witch killed him because of the law, not knowing the true purpose of the law. And like, that's what Jesus came to do, to show us that all of these things that are put in place, all of these things, all this stuff is meant to know God. And we can, and parts of, and a very important part of knowing God is knowing each other deeply, in a loving brotherhood way. And so, like you said, you know, it's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of Christians who want to tell people what they're doing wrong. But yeah, like when it comes down to it, it's all about loving, you know, loving other humans, you know, being a, how do you say it? Being a servant to other people.
One of the quotes that I always would hear a lot, and it was mainly from people who were very, I guess, receptive of other people's beliefs, or it's love the sinner and not the sin, you know?
Yeah, hate the sin, not the sinner.
Yeah, hate the sin. Yeah, and it kind of makes me think about like a lot of the good, because obviously I grew up in a very religious household, and a lot of my best friends, Exhibit A, are religious. And one of the things that I learned growing up was like to be very accepting and tolerant, like not to kind of try to, I guess, change their mind, just like they wouldn't try to change mine, you know, just kind of hang out, accept each other.
Well, and I would say focus on the similarities or the things that bring you together instead of the negative parts that are not agreed upon, and instead of focusing on that.
Yeah, that's what I like. I truly believe if you follow truth to the fullest, and you know that's outside of yourself and not from yourself, you know, you'll discover God. You know what I mean? You'll discover this truth that's always been there, regardless of.
Have you all seen the movie with Bill Maher, Religulous?
Yeah.
You ever seen it? I think you would probably like that movie.
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix? I'll look it up on Prime.
I don't know. Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's out there.
Or on demand on Time Warner.
You'll find it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What do you think of that movie?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of. There was a while to where I dedicated a lot of my time to, like, a lot of the stuff about like Egyptian gods and stuff like that. It's all what's that movie? Zeitgeist. I dedicated a lot of my time to like just like not debunking Zeitgeist, but also just like showing people how much crap it was. Like it's crazy how much none of it is just not true. That he just put a lot of lies out there because it's a lot of myths that people just believe blindly because people say it. Yeah. But the other things he would say, it's typical, like, you know, and that's why I have a lot of empathy for, or I understand how people are against religion, and I get it. Like I said, like the worst thing about Christianity is Christians. So like everything that Kanye is saying, you know, we've seen it so many times. You know what I mean? Like we get it. You know what I mean? Like obviously, like you think no Christian has asked these, why is this all, you know, why is all these bad things happening? You know, why aren't my prayers being answered or all this stuff? And that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Is that if you pursue wisdom to the deepest, you'll find that things just aren't what they seem. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot deeper than just like, oh, because God is good, that means everything's good right now. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that means God is bad because I see bad things happening. You know, like there's more than that. You know?
Yeah.
And that's why it's as simple as looking up the definition, the original definition in context of the word fear, rather than just, you know, hey, why does it say that?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is no one should listen to Kanye.
No, there you go.
Well, yeah. I was about to say, you know, there are certain people that, you know, they talk and they're thought provoking, right? Make you think, you know, and question, and this guy's just an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, he's not thought provoking. He's just a dumbass.
Yeah. Well, Gold Digger was a great song, but other than that,
well, his first 4 or 5 albums were great. You know, those songs are awesome.
You know, and I truly felt the brother. I was like, damn, we finally got it. Like, you know, a pretty like big celebrity, and he was in it, and he was like, you know, pushing it and all this stuff.
Because all the other celebrities are Scientologists.
And do you know, I truly believe once the seed is planted, he'll come around. You know what I mean? It'll happen. I feel like at one point it'll happen to everybody. You know, it'll come around. It'll just, you know.
You're talking about Christianity? Like
I think he'll see I think eventually he'll get it. You know what I mean? Like, I think because it's been implanted in him for so long, he's just in a time to where he's rebelling. You know what I mean? It's like a teenager right now. I think eventually he'll grow up.
Yeah.
I think you give him too much credit.
I have faith in all my brethren. All right, whatever. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show, Chuy. We've, damn, this has been a pretty damn long stream. But yeah, we appreciate it so much.
Yeah, we learned. We
learned a
we
lot.
got closer, even though we rolled so many times.
It was fun. Yeah, we did get closer.
Yeah, you learned a lot about Love Is Blind.
Yeah.
Against your will, like I did. Yeah,
yeah. We all agreed that Kanye doesn't, know anything.
I'm gonna give the first episode of season 6 a try and see.
It doesn't get good until like the 4th one.
It depends. I think it'll get you either way. I think it'll get.
Right now, I'm watching Breaking Bad again for like the 3rd time.
Oh, nice.
Are you on the Fly episode yet, or what?
I'm on season right now where
the episode that's all about a fly.
I'm past that one. Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to say before we end the stream?
Thanks for having me. This was fun. I appreciate the invite. Just keep doing what you're doing. I think people are being entertained by you and Jerry and JB when he's here. And
he's never here.
Yeah.
Keith was pretty entertaining. Those couple episodes.
Oh yeah, that was a great one.
Oh my gosh.
You could tell he was very comfortable sitting here and just spilling all the info there.
Yeah, because of him, now I can't eat at Frankie Flav's anymore, man.
Oh man.
I'll order DoorDash.
Under Priscilla's name.
Oh, and I think they shut down the San Benito one
that
completely. Right?
Yeah,
that one's down.
Yeah, we found out about that. Very unfortunate. Well,
I know Frank and he's a good guy. Keith's a good guy too. Whatever little beef they had,
yeah, it happens, man. It happens in the business world.
That's
hopefully they move forward and just
Yeah, it was bitter for me too, but I'm still a supporter. I don't care. All right, thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you next time on the Mickey G channel.